Today I would like to reflect with you on the Ignatian presupposition of the spiritual exercises. That is, St. Ignatius writes that so that both the giver of the spiritual exercises, that's the one who's leading the other in the exercises, and the maker of the spiritual exercises, or the one who's undertaking the spiritual exercises, may be of greater help and benefit to each other. It should be presupposed that every good Christian ought to be more eager to put a good interpretation on a neighbor's statement than to condemn it. Further, if one cannot interpret it favorably, one should ask how the other means it. If that meaning is wrong, one should correct the person with love. And if this is not enough, one should search out every appropriate means through which, by understanding the statement in a good way, it may be saved. All right, so presupposition. In order to have good relationship among Christians, certainly into entering the spiritual exercises, but this is very appropriate for your and my life, there ought to be a presupposition. That is, my presupposition is, if you make a statement, I'm going to find the truth in that statement. In other words, if you say something, or someone says something, my boss says something, anybody says something to me that I don't get or doesn't sound right to me, something's off on it, I will first presuppose, though, I'm like, what is the truth of what they're saying? I'm going to find the nugget of truth of what's being said there. That's the presupposition. So rather than being quick to condemn it, oh, he's crazy, that's a dumb thing he's saying, or she's saying. Instead of being quick to condemn it, as Christians, whoever says anything to us, we should be much quicker to, what's the truth about what's being said there? Find the truth. Find the nugget of truth of what's being said. So this is actually different than changing something bad into good, like turning some false statement into a good one, putting a good interpretation on it in the sense of being Pollyannish and, I bet they just meant the opposite of what they said. It's not that. It's just finding the truth about what they're saying. So you may disagree with this something you hear on TV or whatnot. That's fine. But is there any truth in what you're hearing from someone's statement without condemning it outright right away? If I can't interpret it favorably, in other words, I can't see the truth of what someone's saying to me or what I heard, some statement, or maybe I saw something written, I can't interpret it favorably, then I should ask that person, how do you mean that? Someone says something to me about the best way for this to happen would be fill in the blank, all right? Or one of my family members tells me their opinion on such and such, or their thoughts on the church or whatnot. So if I can't see the nugget of truth in what they're saying, it's like, as much as I want to, I don't see the truth in what you're saying, then I ask them, what do you mean by that? Why do you say this? What do you mean? Say more about what you just said. Explain yourself a little more, would you please? That's really wonderful. Instead of condemning it and say, I disagree. I think you're wrong. What do you mean by that? We take that step first when I can't find a favorable interpretation, finding the nugget of truth in what they're saying. And if they explain what they mean by it, and their meaning is wrong, and there are many people who say things that are wrong, they're not in accord with Christ, then I should correct the person with love. I have to be careful on this one. St. Ignatius says elsewhere in one of his letters that we shouldn't correct a person unless either we're in authority to them, we're responsible for them in some way, have some authority over them, or if we do it with great love and a reasonable chance of success, that there's a reasonable chance they will listen to us and think about it. But we have to act out of charity, out of great love. If someone came to me and corrects me, I certainly make plenty of mistakes. If they came to me to correct me, they should do it in charity. They should come to me with great charity. If they don't come to me in charity, they really shouldn't come to me until they find a place of charity. Okay? And same thing for me, approaching anyone else. I should come from a place of charity. One should ask how the other one should correct the person with love. Very important we do it with love, and there should be a reasonable chance of success. Otherwise, I would also, with St. Ignatius, discourage correcting anyone unless there's a reasonable chance of success. maybe you could tell someone who would have a better chance of success with them. And if this is not enough, one should search out every appropriate means through which, by understanding the statement in a good way, it may be saved. So you look for any positive way that the statement can be saved and preserved, find any nugget of truth within the statement. So I hope that's helpful for you in your relationships with others, to live the presupposition of the spiritual exercises, which is the presupposition of the spiritual life in a way, which is I'm going to listen to what you say and find the positive nugget of truth in what you're saying. So as you're commenting on scripture for something and something kind of rings funny to me, and yet I'm still going to find the truth, the nugget of truth in what you're saying. Jesus does that often in his ministry. Let us imitate him. God bless you.